Hi, my name's Ginny Bootman. I'm a primary school teacher and a special needs coordinator, and I like to talk about the role of kindness and empathy within the classroom context and wider. So today I want to talk to you about kindness. So I decided to look up in a dictionary what kindness is, and kindness is seen to be when an individual is generous, when they are friendly, and when they are considerate. And I actually think those three aspects really do sum up what kindness is. So when we're talking about kindness, if we're not careful, it's all about us being kind to other people. What I want to pull it back to is the fact that we need to be kind to ourselves. We can give kindness out, but if we're not careful, we can end up being wrung out because we've given away all of our kindness and we do just feel wrung out. So first thing we need to do is we need to be kind to ourselves. Sometimes that's easier said than done. So an example being, if somebody wants us to do something at school and we're busy and we haven't got the time, we are allowed to say no. We are allowed to say no. And in my experience, once I've said this to people, they acknowledge it and they are absolutely fine with it. On the occasions when I've said, I can't actually see you at the moment, but let's have a meeting, people actually like that because they like the fact that I'm going to give up more of my time to have a meeting, generally over a cup of tea, but a meeting with them about what they want to talk about, rather than what we end up with is the corridor conversation. We're all so busy, we go along the corridor, we have a few words, but it's not actually a proper conversation. So I like to have a conversation over a cup of tea, and then it just gives it more kudos, really. So by saying no, we need to think how we say no, but actually it can work to everybody's advantage. When we're talking about being kind to ourselves, sometimes we also have to tell people if they've done something which actually perhaps upsets us. And that's hard. I think that's quite hard because we all want to be liked. So by saying that somebody's done something that has upset us, if we're not careful, we have a fear that people will judge us or not like us. Give it a go. In my experience, it actually helps both parties. So if something happens and you tell somebody that actually what they did upset you, they had no idea. They had no idea until you told them. And actually, if you tell them, it's highly likely they won't do it again. So I think we need to have in the forefront of our mind, let's be kind. Let's be kind to ourselves. Let's think about saying no, and let's make people aware when they do things that do upset us. If we move on to kindness within the school context, I firmly believe and I strongly believe that we need to mirror kindness. We need to show kindness to others, like a drip effect. And when children see it around them, they start to feel it, they start to see it in others, and it really, really does have a huge impact. So, for example, the other day, a child came up to me and said that they were feeling hungry, and they asked if they could have a piece of fruit. So I said, yeah. I looked in the basket that we have of fruit, and I said, we've got bananas or we've got tangerines. And the little face dropped. And the child said, I really wanted an apple. So I said, Then I said, I know, I've got one in my bag. You can have mine. You can have mine, that's fine. So I gave the apple to the child. And then the child held the apple back, as if giving it back to me. And then said, could you cut the apple in half for me, please? So I said, yes, that's fine. I cut the apple in half, gave it back. And then The child held half the apple back out to me. And I said, "Oh, what's that for?" And the child said, "That was your apple. We need to share it." That is what I now call the apple of kindness. I can hand on heart say, that wouldn't have happened a year or two ago. But that child has been surrounded by kindness, shown kindness, had kindness mirrored, and has shown it back. Was the child being friendly? Yes. Was the child being generous? Definitely. Was the child being considerate? Yes. What was their intention? Maybe it was to be nice to me. It was my apple. They wanted to share it with me. I just think what a simple, brilliant show of kindness. Within the school context, and I suppose generally, I see the way that we help children learn kindness a bit like the way we teach tennis. So we help them hold the bat, we bounce the ball, we help them hit it over the net. If they can't do it to begin with, we help them again. We are like the ball boy, the ball girl. We pick the ball up, we bring it back to them. We don't expect them to be able to do an overhand serve without being taught. We just gently show them. Over and over again. We coach them daily. And then what happens? One day, like with the little boy in the apple, we see that ball go over the net. And do you know what? We see the ball come back. # kindness breeds kindness. Thank you.